Well, good morning, everyone. I'm going to record this video to introduce our consumer protection class, the section of the consumer protection, okay? Well, first of all, I hope everyone is okay, you're safe and healthy, and please stay safe and hopeful, as I always say, okay? Everything okay here? Well, it's not okay. We're really we've been hit really badly by the virus, and there are over 30,000 people infected right now. But taking our precautions and not going out just for to buy groceries and to pharmacy, and that's it. Basically, it's I've just been to the street, but I protect myself with my mask, my gloves, so I'm doing all right. Okay. So hopefully you're doing all right as well. So take care, okay? Right. So let's start with our consumer protection. I've produced PowerPoint presentation, and the slides are numbered, so it's easily. If you follow this video, you can at the same time follow the presentation, and it will be easy for you to understand. All right, so what's consumer protection? Well, as you can see, consumer protection is this practice of safeguarding buyers of goods and services and the public against unfair practices in the marketplace. Consumer protection have measures that are often established by law to prevent businesses from engaging in fraud or unfair practices to gain advantage over competitors or mislead consumers. Everything is written there, so I'm just introducing this for you. Right, there is a protection or consumer law which actually establishes legal relationships between individual consumers and the businesses that sell goods and services. The consumer protection law covers topics such as product liability, privacy rights, unfair business practices, fraud, misrepresentation, and other consumer business interactions. And it prevents frauds and scams from sales and service contracts, eligible fraud, bill collector regulation, pricing, utility turn-offs, consolidation, and personal loans that may lead to bankruptcy. Many countries, up to 47 right now, have constitutional laws that include some sort of provisions to protect consumer rights. And these provisions state that the citizens have the right to goods and services of quality, meaning that the goods and the services that consumers acquire must comply and respond to a minimum quality. And if there's a statement from the business stating that there is a quality or that there is a service that these goods or services are rendering, this should be a responsibility of the business to respond and to make sure that these statements of quality are actually taken into consideration and are real. They also have the right, consumers, to be informed about the product and service they're acquiring. So they need to be duly informed by the businesses of all the products, all the goods, the services they're buying. They also have the right to be protected in their health and the safety in the use of the product and service they're acquiring. And they also have the right to legal recourse and compensation in case of injury and product defaults. All right. So here on slide number 5, you have an image here that opens up to different various consumer rights, and we're going to deal with them one by one. Okay. So these are basic consumer rights that you have in your study guide, for this section for consumer protection. Right. So the first one is access. All right. So as consumers, we have the access or the right to access products and services that meet the necessary safety regulations and excellence to meet consumer expectations. This means that all the products and services we're buying must respond to the promises that the businesses are giving. If they do not, we are able to perform legal recourse. If there is any publicity, and this publicity might be false or misleading, we have the right also to complain. Right. Consumers also must have access to complete and updated information about these products and services. They have the right to know the specifications, the usage, the possibilities of the products and services, the options, and so on. Basically, it's full information that complies with the necessities that the consumers are asking, requiring from these products and services. And the businesses are responsible to grant access and actually give good information about these products and goods and services. It's also key that consumers may have access to a health system that complies with updated requirements to ensure public health safety and excellent services. So that means that all the products and services we are acquiring must comply with these health requirements so that these products and services we are using comply with the regulations established by the health department. All right, so the second one would be economic interests. So consumers have the right for safety and benefits in the investments they are doing, the benefits they expect from the investments that they are doing must be protected. They have the right to be protected and to obtain these benefits. They also have the right to a salary that is fair and that it must comply with the reality of the present society. So salaries that really value the work that, in this case, employees in businesses are doing. The benefits that we obtain from either investments, perks, or salaries, in both the cases of consumers and employees, must be also benefits that are real and that are that respond, as I said before, to the reality of the society we're living in. We also have the right to a banking system that will protect and ensure our income, our benefits, and the growth of the society. Okay, so passing to the third point, which is product safety and liability. We insist that products must render excellent service and must comply with the specified regulations that are established by the business and by the social and governmental regulations. Business are responsible to ensure that products and services meet this requirement. So there is a responsibility from the part of the business to ensure that the products and services they're rendering to the public comply with this safety regulations and excellence requirements. For example, if we do so as a business, we will ensure and strengthen our brand image and reputation, and this will result in greater benefits for the company, shareholders, and stakeholders as a whole. All right? Okay, let's pass to the fourth one, which is privacy and data security. I'm sorry for this very homemade video, but I'm doing this with a cell phone, and I hope that you can listen to me and you can follow this well. Well, so the fourth point would be privacy and data security. So consumers have the right for privacy when acquiring products and services. This must safeguard the right to buy and use goods without public intervention and ensuring that goods always comply with legal regulations. So we know that we have the privacy to buy and use any goods or products or services we're acquiring without any public intervention. But we know that when we do so, that privacy also ensures that the things we're buying, we're acquiring, we're using meet the necessary legal regulations. Okay. The protection of consumers' personal information must always be a must for businesses. Any data breach may result in mistrust and legal actions from consumers. So we must, as businesses, make sure that personal information from our customers is protected and that there is no risk of a data breach that would jeopardize the privacy of our consumers. Okay, so let's pass to the next one, which is information and transparency. Information about goods must always comply with established regulations, and any statement used by businesses must meet the established requirements. So if we are actually promising something and making a statement out of it, this statement and this promise should comply with the veracity of the information we're giving. Otherwise, we might have legal repercussions afterwards. Transparency is key in order to ensure loyalty and trust from our consumers. Excellence is the service rendered. Must be the most important company policy at all times. And we should avoid fake news or lack of veracity that will eventually harm our business. Okay, so the next one, it's education and awareness. Consumers have the right to excellence, again, in education. They have the right to acquire and have an educational system that operates independently and offers consumers, students in this case, freedom and an analytical view of the surrounding world. Education must not be elitistic, but rather it should be accessible to all, enabling an up-to-date information training. Oops, I'm sorry, this just fell. I'm sorry, I'm going to start again. Sorry. Okay, let's make sure it doesn't fall again. So as I was saying, education must not be elitistic, but rather accessible to everyone, and it should enable an up-to-date training and have or form well-informed citizens at all times. The next one, it's dispute resolution and redress. So this means that consumers have the right to justice at all times. A justice that safeguards the rights at all times. Sorry, I'm just going to put it here. I'm sorry. So a justice that safeguards the rights at all times and their constitutional freedom. They have the right to receive compensation for malpractice, unsafe and faulty goods or service, and this goods and service must always be defended and applied. This means that the right to compensation and the right to defend this compensation should always be applied and defended. And last but not least is governance and participation. Governments should protect and defend citizens and consumers' liberties and freedoms. The freedom and right to acquire goods and services that comply with established regulations, respond to the promises stated by their producers and sales businesses. This means that, again, we have the right from the government, this must be defended from the government, that any good or service we are acquiring must comply with established regulations that are set up by these governments. And we have the right to participate, for example, to sue a company for a faulty or unsafe product or service, and to receive compensation, as I said before. Citizens have the right to demand from the government a right for a clear, fair, and public electoral system. And businesses must always comply to employees' rights, such as strike or safety working regulations, to ensure that the working environments meet the necessary standards of safety and protection of employees, the public, society, and environment. All right, so basically this is what consumer regulations establishes, and the consumer law establishes, and how our consumer rights are protected by the different parties that we are talking about. So it's access, just to recapitulate, access to good information, ensuring and safeguarding our economic interests, that the product or the service we are buying meets the safety regulations, the standard safety regulations, that there is a privacy in acquiring and a data security protecting our rights and personal data at all times, that the information that we obtain from businesses and the transparency in this information is meets the necessary regulations, that we are also we also have the right to education, and to be aware that this education, not only academic but also when buying a product or service, this information educates us to really know how to use and the product or service in a safe manner. The right to adjust resolution on redress, so that we are protected by the law when we are acquiring these goods and using these services, and also the protection from the government and the possibility to participate with the company as a whole, not only to trust the brand or the reputation of a business, but also to protect ourselves, the employees working for that company, so shareholders and stakeholders, society, and the environment as a whole. All right, so what I told you, I wanted you to actually do some assignments for me. So as you can see, I'm sorry, this is very homemade, but I'll do it better next time. Okay, this is my first one. Please bear with me. So in the last slide, you can see that there is an assignment, and I want you to do this assignment, okay? So what is this assignment? Remember, you are working as teams, so this is a team assignment for both teams. I want you to work together. I mean, I want you to meet, you can do it through email, you can do it through Zoom, through like I'm doing now, through WhatsApp video conferences. I don't mind about this. But what I want you, it's like to build up this, to work the assignment as a team. All right. So the result of the assignment, so the outcome must be a team result. Okay. So you have some questions there, and I want you to do some research on the following issues pertaining consumer protection, and write an account on each of them. This means that, for example, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you might, for example, if you're 3 or 4, each one of you might take 2 of them. So you may join forces in okay, I'm going to research number 1 and 2. You're going to research 2 or 4. Whatever. You can do whatever you want there, but I want you to work this out as a team. Okay, so any research, please do it jointly. involve yourselves as a team, share information, help your peers, your team members, because I want a result that works out as a team. I'm going to evaluate this, and I'd like you to do this in this way. So this is a written account. You may do this as a presentation, so with the slides, but even if you do so, I want you to write an account. So for each slide, I want a written part that would, since you are not able to do a presentation, or if you want, you can, one of you or two of you, if you can meet up. I think it's going to be more difficult, but if one of you takes up this responsibility of creating a presentation with the information gathered from the other team members, you may maybe build up a presentation and send me that presentation, like an oral presentation. Or if you're doing a presentation just with the slides, a PowerPoint presentation, I would need then for each slide on the different questions that I'm asking there, I would need an explanation, a written explanation. That might be a paragraph, okay? So that's your assignment. And this assignment, I'm going to give you a week. So since we're doing this on the 26th, which is the Thursday, I will need this by April, let me see, April 2nd, all right? So the deadline for this assignment would be April 2nd, okay? Right, so should you have any questions, please let me know. I apologize for this very, very homemade video. Bear with me. I hope it was interesting. I hope, in spite of those little problems I had with the cell phone falling, that you've been able to follow the presentation well, that the assignment is understood. But I'm here. Should you have any problems, just let me know. All right, and send me an email. For every single work you sent me, I'm going to upload this into Moodle. I want this to be in Moodle. So there is proof that you're doing your work, and the work has been done, and it's that the deadlines have been met. All right. So I want the university to be aware that you guys are working. All right. So basically that's it. Should you have any doubts, please let me know. And as of next week, remember, I will be seeing you online using Adobe Connector. So I hope that we will be able to meet up and interact better, and that we won't have any problems with the videos. Okay? So stay safe, stay hopeful, take care of yourselves. I hope everyone is okay, your family, your relatives, your friends, and yourselves. Take care, and I'll meet you next week. Okay, bye-bye, take care. See you, bye-bye.